Yeah, man. January the 25th, 2022. This is Kevin Christian, and I want to do follow up the second edition, an update video on um, my college degree situation where I've went to college. I'm going back to school, and I've already started. It's been a few weeks now, and I did the first video talking about it, and here's the second video. Um, so here's the situation. I want to do well, I am doing computer programming. It's associate degree of computer science and specifically computer programming. All right, but um, there's a few things that I'm still trying to work out exactly how I want to go about doing this, and so I'll describe those things to you. First of all, I did start doing this because of my situation with the neural monitoring and all of the hacking problems and the gang stalking. Really, I know a lot of people probably haven't even heard of that, but it's going to be an interesting journey because it's going to give me a lot of leverage and a lot of power over things that I've not had power over before. Uh, I've always understood computer stuff a little bit, like I understood like the basic stuff, megabytes and gigabytes, and all the way back into the day. Okay, um, I'll tell you what I had. I had a Pentium 2, 266 megahertz, Pentium 2 Windows laptop, and about 2000. Okay, and then in about 2002, I bought a Mac Tower um, dual 867 mirror door drives, if you know what that is. So it's an old school. All right, so those are my first uh, computers, and um, from there, I've always known about computer stuff. My dad was kind of into computer stuff, but I never really had a full grasp on everything. But I really now understand pretty much how everything works. Um, Plug my device in. I mean, I understand what's going on, okay, and how things are happening. But what I don't know is the exact, like, I don't know programming really. Um, so basically, I've had all these hacker problems, and so I decided that I was going to go ahead and just do the computer programming degree. And so the way it's going to work is that it's an associate degree, and then if I want to continue on to the bachelor's, then I would transfer to a, a bigger school, like a full fledged, a big boy school. I'm thinking like I kind of got Georgia Tech on my mind, um, but we'll see what happens. I haven't really looked around or anything. I just know that my dad was gonna go to Georgia Tech. He had a scholarship, and then he ended up turning it down and doing something else. And then my little sister had a full academic scholarship to Georgia Tech, and she did that and graduated. And so, I'm thinking that that would be a good thing for me to do as well. But so I'm figuring out now how the minor major thing works. I think that um, so I'm only taking the one thing. Okay, as I'm doing this, I'm a older adult and I work a full time job, but they're calling it a full time student too. But I'm taking two classes for this first semester, and the classes that I'm taking are Comp 1000. It's computer literacy, and Comp 1001, which is computer concepts. And I think I got that right. And those are classes that are required for the degree, and they're also required for some of the more advanced classes. So it's something that I pretty well had to start there. It's very basic, and the whole thing is kind of going into just um, some of the ethics of it, the history of computers, some of the real basic stuff. I know we're going to be working with like Excel and Word and stuff like that. I'm not really a Windows person, and I never have been, except for right in the beginning when I got tired of all the Windows problems I was having in 2000, 2001, like everybody else was having. Um, I got a Mac, and I didn't have those problems for the longest time. I didn't even think Macs were hackable, but now I know different. But um, so anyway, it's very basic, and so far I've not really learned anything. I mean, maybe I've learned a little bit, but we've had a few quizzes and a few lectures and lessons or whatever you want to call it, and basically, I feel like I knew more than anybody else. There's some older people that are like retiring from the military and things like that are in some of my classes, and then there's like some younger people that are like right out of high school, and then everything in between. Okay, but as far as like computers, um, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of things, and I have a better understanding than most people that are in those classes. So, um, but it's going to be, I feel like it's just going to be a cakewalk. I'm going to breeze through these first couple of classes. This first semester, I think it's going to be very easy for me um, because it's not stuff that's like um, a foreign language to me. I understand what they're talking about already, and when they're, yeah, I mean, it's stuff that I already know. So, what my biggest problem was like, okay, so I know that you can modify a user interface, or you can modify an application, or you can write and create your own stuff. And but my biggest thing was like trying to get into all of that in the first place. Like if I want to figure out like how to modify my operating system or something, like how do you even do that? Like how do you even, where do you start? And like, so I learned that you can do a lot of things with text editors, and I'm still trying to figure out where everything's going to go with all of that. But some of the other classes that I'll be taking, there's obviously the required classes, so I have to take like a business administration, psychology, economics, some basic things like that. But or choose one of those or something. But I'll definitely be getting into like C++, PHP, JavaScript, um, stuff about databases and like SQL, stuff like that. So there's some other things though with the minor and major thing that I was trying to figure out. Okay, so I guess I just have a majors. I'm taking one degree, so one set of classes, and I'm just trying to work on that. But there's some other things that I was looking into, and cybersecurity is another degree that they offer. And um, some of the classes, I know this because some of the people that are in my classes are also going for the cybersecurity degree, and I'm going for the computer programming degree. So, um, but they have some of the same classes. So I think, but I got to find out for sure. But I think the way that it works is that I can do like cybersecurity as a minor, and since they have some of the same classes. But either way, I want to definitely try to do the computer programming and the cybersecurity and get an associate's in both of those, and then from there move on to a bigger school, like possibly Georgia Tech or something like that. Um, I'm also interested in web development and like application development, but I feel like programming in general is something that the other ones would be contingent on knowing programming. So you need to know programming to start, writing your own network scripts for cybersecurity, or developing applications, or uh, web development. And I've dabbled around in all of that a little bit on my own. I've learned a lot on my own before I ever thought about going to school for this. So, but I would recommend that if you're interested in those things, or if you just want to solve the problems that you have with hacking or gang stalking, or just become more in touch with reality of what's really going on in the world, because it's very important. Because our what do you do when you want to check your bank account, when you want to check your messages, when you want to check your social media, you want to go to a website or shopping, or do a job application, anything. It's all on the phones and devices, computers and everything. Most people don't even have a laptop anymore or desktop. They just use their phones. And the phone is, and the mobile devices are really, they are computers, but they are secondary to the main devices. It's not a replacement for your laptop. The laptops and stuff like that are still very important to me anyway. Somebody that wants to understand all this stuff very well, and it's a good idea to learn to manage your digital self in this new age that we're in. So I would recommend it. As far as uh, getting back in school is not that difficult. If you graduated high school, you could just get your transcripts sent over to wherever you're trying to get accepted at, and then fill out their application, and they'll either accept you or not. So I got accepted, and and if you didn't graduate high school, then there's a lot of different programs where you could do GED stuff, and those type of things really don't cost you anything. If you go to try to do a GED, I think they'll pay for it for you pretty much. Maybe contingent on you making a certain amount of certain grade level or something like that. But I've talked to some other people about that recently. I've noticed that I'm having some influence on some people, so I'm trying to, I'm not a role model, but at the same time, if people are gonna try to be like me, and I care about those people, then I'm gonna try to be the best that I can, so I could, you know, see them becoming something that I would feel good about, being the cause of anyway. But as far as going to school, you could go to a local in-state smaller college, and it's very likely that you would be able to get federal aid that would just about cover all of it. Like it's not going to cost me very much to go to school, and until I were to go to like a bigger school, like a big university or something like that. Then when it costs a lot more than, but still, there's a lot of scholarships and financial aid things available, and even student loans and stuff like that, especially if you have a job. But if you're trying to do this, you can do it. Okay, I want you to know that if you're wanting to do this, the only thing in your way of doing it is you. You can do it because I work more than full time, and I got a lot of other things going on, and I'm trying to talk to 1 million people a day and do this YouTube thing, and then being gang stalked all the time with the artificial telepathy. They never shut up, and it's just a big fuss. And plus, I got my own hobbies and my own things that I really love to do. Computer programming isn't my passion. It's just a requirement for my life right now. So, but I want to stay up on everything. So, but I'm able to do all of this, and I decided that I'm going to do it, and so I've been taking the steps, and I was talking about it, and now I'm doing it. So, a few weeks in, I think this is my 3rd week now of college, and so I wanted to do this video and talk about it. But just getting in, like it's really cool. It's not like high school, where they're gonna be all in your mix about this and that, and like, oh, take your hat off in class or no chewing gum. It's not little kid stuff. You're grown now, and so you're not going to hear any of that. And as far as like the assignments and the schedules and the attendance, and they're not going to be on you about any of that. Like you really don't even have to go if you don't want to, as long as you if you can stay up on things and get your assignments done and understand what's going on and do well without showing up, then they probably wouldn't even care if you showed up. But I like to go. I need the structure of it all. I feel like it's important for me, for my personality type, the structure is important to go there and do that. So, um, I've started doing it, and I'm gonna follow through with it. I enjoy it. Actually, it's something else. I feel good about it, and I like learning things, and hopefully it will become more challenging. So basically, a lot of it's on. I mean, it's not online. You go to class, but a lot of the assignments and the way you keep up with it is all online. You log into your thing, and then you can see all the announcements from your professors, and you got your assignments and discussion boards, and you can do all the assignments on there, and then uh, you know follow along with everything, and you really don't have to like go to class and do a bunch of stuff. You just go to class and hear what they have to say, and then you do your assignments. And so at this point, it's been uh, very feasible for me to do this and work, full time work, and we'll call it full time student. I think a full time student would be like 3 or 4 classes, but as far as what they classify me as is a full time student, and I'm only taking 2 classes. So if it's easy to keep up with, I might up the pace a little bit and do 3 classes next time. My goal actually now at this point is to try to gain 2 associate's degrees for computer programming and cybersecurity in 3 years. Okay, and if it takes a little longer, that's fine. As long as I can do it in like 3, 3.5, something like that, and then transfer to a bigger school and then move on from there with furthering, getting more advanced and whatever, but and try to further bachelor's and see where it goes. But um, I think it's a good idea for me to try to get involved with both of those. I know they're kind of the same in the same categories, but to have a full understanding of the broader spectrum of the whole thing is important to me because I want to solve the problems that I have, the problems that we have, and I want to make a difference. Okay, so that's it, pretty much. I'm doing well so far. I haven't checked today, but last I checked, I'm perfect score. I'm actually over 100 average in one of the classes because there was some extra credit that I got right on one of them. So at this point, I've got perfect scores. But it's going to be, like I said, it's the beginning, and it's going to be a cakewalk for a little while, I think, because this is the beginning. It's the basic stuff. So when the summertime semester starts, I'll probably try to throw in one of those required classes, like I don't. They got college algebra, pre-calculus, um, economics, some kind of economics, psychology, business administration. Um, I don't. I think I have to do like 2 of those over the course of the whole degree, um, and then I've got the PHP programming and the C++ programming and the JavaScript programming, and then the stuff with the database SQL stuff. And so there's a lot of more advanced things that I'll be getting into. And I'm very excited and looking forward to that because I feel like everything that I learn is going to give me that much more edge on everything. With my personal situation, um, I've had some problems since I was talking about on my channel, one of my channels yesterday, about how I had to log back into my iCloud to share a location with my daughter, and it was it all immediately a lot of my problems started back, and with stealing my biometric credentials and just doing a lot of things, and so it made me very certain now that iCloud is part of the way that they're doing a lot of the things that they're doing on my devices. So I may end up, calling up Apple and seeing what we could do about that. But right now, I'm just still trying to learn. It's very much of a frustration for me. I don't like it that they're doing this kind of thing to my devices. It's not pleasant. It's upsetting, but um, I can just continue to document it publicly and pick away at the little clues that they're giving me of how they're doing what they're doing, and then keep learning more and more every day, all the time, and keep working, keep stacking the money up, keep everything in order, stay good with my people, and make sure that everything is how I want it to be, and so we can end up with the right results is what I'm looking for. So anyway, that's what's going on right now with um, my computer programming college journey, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. And when I start to actually learn some things that are interesting, I'll probably do some videos about those things and share those things. So, and it's, over the years, it's going to start to get very advanced. And I think that I'm going to um, probably make some people very upset that didn't want this kind of thing to happen. But they asked for it. That's all I can say. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you'll follow my journey, and I hope maybe that you'll look into maybe doing something to progress your own success in the right direction. So thank you for watching. It's Kevin Christian. I'll see y'all.